You know, I didn't realize how much grief had taken over my life until I saw how often I was reaching for wine to get through it. And what happened next changed everything. See, for years, I thought wine was just a way to unwind, to take the edge off, but the truth, it wasn't the wine I was really after. It was the escape from feeling the pain I didn't know how to sit with. So if you've ever used wine or anything else to numb grief or just get through the day, then this video is for you. Because what I discovered might surprise you. See, the very thing I thought was helping me to cope was actually holding me back from healing. But before we dive in, hit like, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and subscribe, because this channel is all about healing what hurts and living what's next. So let's get going. Now I need to be honest. See, for a long time, wine became my evening companion. It started innocently, one glass while cooking, another while watching TV. It helped me to unwind, or at least that's what I told myself, but deep down I was avoiding my grief, the quiet, gnawing ache that came with each loss. Now, just like many of you, I've been through so many losses over the years. Relationships ending, miscarriages, career shifts, pet loss, moving to another country. These were changes that I wasn't prepared for, and yet I kept pushing them aside. Now, the real breaking point came when my dad, my brother, and my mum all died within 8 months. That's when I noticed I was reaching for wine almost every night, not to enjoy it, but to quiet the noise in my head and the emptiness in my heart. And one night, staring at my glass, I realized, what the heck am I doing? Now, if you've ever used wine to cope with grief, drop a yes in the comments. No judgment, just honesty. Let's normalize this conversation. Now, I started noticing little nudges, like songs on the radio about drowning your sorrows, moments that felt like the universe was asking me to look closer. And when I did, I realized wine wasn't comforting me. It was silencing me. It wasn't helping me to heal. It was keeping me from feeling. Now, stopping wasn't easy. The fear hit me hard. What if I couldn't cope without it? And let me tell you, the first few days were brutal. See, the grief didn't get easier, it got louder. But I stuck with it, and I started to notice something amazing. I wasn't being crushed by my grief anymore. I was actually starting to face it. And that's when transformation began. And here's what really made a difference. Not generic advice, but what I personally did to shift my relationship with alcohol and face grief fully. So first, I replaced the ritual, not just the drink. I didn't try to eliminate the habit. I replaced it with something that still felt intentional. So at 5 p.m, when I normally pour wine, I poured sparkling water with lemon or herbal tea. Or sometimes I even made myself a fancy mocktail. See, it wasn't about the drink itself. It was about honouring that moment, but in a way that didn't numb me. Now, next, I made sure I was moving my body daily. Strength training, walking, stretching, dancing in my living room, anything to move energy through my body instead of suppressing it. And you know, even 5 minutes of stretching or shaking out tension can shift your nervous system and help you to process emotions. Next, I began journaling and naming emotions. I started keeping a small notebook just for evenings. When I wanted wine, instead of reaching for the glass, I'd write things like, I feel lonely, I feel sad, I feel scared. You know, sometimes I just poured everything onto the page. No filter, no judgment, and honestly, that release alone was transformative. And next, I created emotional check-ins with myself. I began asking simple questions like, what am I really feeling? What do I need right now? And sometimes the answer was a walk, a call to a friend, or just sitting with the feeling. And these small pauses helped me stop automatically numbing and start choosing how to respond. Next, I built a support system, especially because I began to notice that more women around me were doing the same thing I'd been doing, using wine to cope. And sharing these experiences with friends, coaches, or support group made me realize that I wasn't alone, and it also gave me accountability. Honestly, just knowing someone else gets it can change your whole approach. And you know, one of my favorites is practicing gratitude and noticing small wins, because even one night without wine felt like a victory. I noticed my energy returning, my sleep improving, and my clarity increasing. And celebrating these wins made me want to continue step by step. But here's the truth, you're not weak for numbing your pain. You are surviving the only way you know how. Healing asks something different. It asks you to face your feelings fully without distractions. And yes, it can feel scary, but it's all so freeing. Now, what would it be like to face your emotions without numbing them? Could you try just one evening, one moment, and see what happens? Because when you stop running, the grief stops chasing you. Now, if you want to shift your relationship with alcohol, whether it's cutting back, understanding why you reach for it, or simply feeling more in control, then here are 5 mindset-focused steps that are simple and powerful. Step 1, pause and ask why. Before reaching for wine, take a slow breath and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Am I bored, stressed, sad, lonely? Because naming the feeling gives you clarity, and it helps you to make a conscious choice instead of an automatic habit. Step 2, create a mini ritual for awareness. Visualize putting your hand on your heart for a moment and acknowledging your emotion. You know, this small act, even for 30 seconds, signals to your brain that you see your feelings and you don't need to numb them immediately. Step 3, reframe the craving. So instead of thinking, oh, I need this to feel better, say to yourself, this is just a signal that I need care, not the drink itself. And then you can choose a response that nourishes you, whether that's journaling, a walk, or simply noticing the craving without acting on it. Step 4, use a quick visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the moment you pour the wine. See it clearly and then imagine putting it aside and feeling your energy shift, lighter, clearer, more present. See, this mental rehearsal trains your mind to respond differently, and over time making it easier to cut back or pause. Step 5, anchor in a positive feeling. Pick a small action that brings comfort or pleasure. A deep stretch, a warm cup of tea, or listening to your favourite song. And every time a craving arises, anchor yourself in this choice first. See, over time your brain starts associating comfort with self-care, not just the drink. Now, these steps aren't about perfection or stopping completely, unless that's what you want. They're about choice, awareness, and creating space between the craving and your response. Because even small shifts like cutting back one night a week, noticing your triggers, or trying one visualization can have a powerful ripple effect on how you feel physically, emotionally, and mentally. You know, grief didn't just change my relationship with alcohol, it changed my relationship with myself. I stopped numbing and started living. I faced what I used to run from, and that's when real healing began. Now, If this resonated with you, drop a comment. What's your relationship with numbing versus healing? And if you're ready to download my 4-week wine pause journal or book a free chat, sometimes one conversation can actually change everything. Remember, healing isn't linear and it isn't perfect, but you're not alone. It's never too late to heal what hurts and live what's next. So thanks for being here with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.